Following family tradition, one of Todd Chrisley's children made a shocking announcement on Tuesday, July 27. The Chrisley Knows best star is getting a divorce. Which one of Todd's children are ending their marriage? Todd Chrisley has 5 children: Lindsay, Kyle, Savannah, Chase, and Grayson. Of those, only Lindsay and Kyle are currently married. There are rumors that Chase proposes to girlfriend Emmy Metters during the new season of Chrisley Knows Best. Additionally, Savannah ended her engagement to Nick Curdles in late 2020. Kyle Chrisley is on his second marriage. He married Ashley Nelson earlier this year. He has a daughter, Chloe, from his previous marriage. Todd and Julie Chrisley have sole custody of Chloe. Lindsay Chrisley is currently estranged from her father and siblings. In 2012, she eloped with Will Campbell. The couple shares a son, Jackson. Julie Chrisley isn't Todd's first wife. He was previously married to Kyle and Lindsay's mother, Teresa Terry. It seems that divorce may be a family trait. Which of his children is newly single? The podcast host announced on her Instagram feed on July 27 that she is ending her marriage to Will Campbell. She implies that it was a mutual decision. In the photo, Lindsay sits in an empty room with her son on her lap. Has she already moved? Yes, it seems she has. She writes that she is focusing on the new beginnings ahead and a fresh space with the move this week. She ends the missive by asking for privacy for her family through the challenging time. Her followers took to the comments to show support amid the split. However, many wrote that they didn't find the news surprising. It seems Lindsay has been dropping hints on her Coffee Combos podcast she co-hosts with teen moms Kayleen Lowry. One follower remarked that Lindsay has been using a lot of I in sentences instead of we. In fact, rumors of a split have been heating up for over a month. Online reports that Lindsay will address the divorce on this week's podcast episode. This isn't the first hint of trouble in paradise for Lindsay and Will. The aspiring beauty maven filed for divorce back in 2016. However, the two gave their marriage another try. But this time it sounds like the split is for good. Does it surprise you that Lindsay Chrisley is the one getting a divorce? Share your thoughts in the comments below. While Lindsay no longer appears on the show, Chrisley Knows Best returns with new episodes on Thursday, August 12. The Chrisley family, once the epitome of Southern charm and television perfection, has been hit with yet another emotional storm. This time, it's not a rumor, not a teaser from Chrisley Knows Best reruns. One of Todd Chrisley's children has officially confirmed a divorce, sending shockwaves through fans who have followed their journey from laughter-filled episodes to the tense reality of recent years. The golden image of a family bound by humor, faith, and fierce loyalty is now cracking under the weight of heartbreak. The revelation arrived not as a scandalous leak, but as a somber truth. Divorce. The word itself carries a heaviness that contrasts sharply with the family's public insistence on love conquering all. For a clan that once preached unity through fame, wealth, and adversity, the confession felt both raw and inevitable. Fans were left reeling, scrolling through social media with disbelief as the family's glossy facade dimmed before their eyes. The perfect family that wasn't so perfect for years. Todd Chrisley painted a picture of a family rooted in traditional values, where every trial was met with laughter and every disagreement ended in prayer. But beneath the witty one-liners and curated television smiles, cracks were forming. Fame magnifies everything. Love becomes performance, mistakes become headlines, and pressure becomes poison. The Chrisley children grew up under the constant gaze of cameras, balancing private pain with public perfection. Some found ways to thrive under that light. Savannah with her business ventures, Chase with his charm, and even Lindsay with her independence. Yet fame also built invisible walls between them, separating siblings into their own worlds of expectations, misunderstandings, and emotional distance. When word of the divorce confirmation broke, longtime viewers weren't just curious. They were heartbroken. The Chrisley children have lived through public scrutiny, prison sentences, and personal breakdowns. But this felt deeply human, painfully relatable, and eerily inevitable. The quiet signs before the storm before the announcement, observant fans had already noticed subtle signs. The missing wedding ring in photos, the avoidance of couple posts, the sudden flood of inspirational quotes about self-worth and healing. It all hinted at something heavier brewing beneath the surface. The Chrisley world, though polished on the outside, has always carried an undercurrent of struggle. When Todd and Julie went away to serve their sentences, the children's emotional foundations were tested like never before. Some leaned on faith, others leaned on each other. But not everyone found the same strength to hold on to their relationships. Love, especially in the shadow of fame and pain, becomes complicated. The pressures of media attention, family reputation, and emotional wounds can slowly erode even the strongest bonds. It's easy to love under studio lights. It's much harder when those lights go out and reality sets in. The child at the center of this heartbreak had fought hard to preserve that sense of normalcy. They smiled for interviews, posted family pictures, and even defended the Chrisley name against criticism. But in private, cracks widened. Arguments replaced laughter, distance became safety, and eventually, silence became the loudest signal of all. The confirmation that broke the internet when the confirmation came, it wasn't filled with drama or spectacle. There was no angry post, no blame cast. It was simply a truth revealed with quiet finality. A relationship had ended. A love story had reached its limit. For the fans, though, that quiet was deafening. The comment sections across social platforms exploded with sympathy and disbelief. Many remembered the couple's sweet moments on Chrisley Knows Best. The teasing jokes, the romantic gestures, the looks that once said forever. But forever doesn't always mean always. Sometimes it just means as long as it could. The heartbreak wasn't just about the end of a marriage. It was about the unraveling of an ideal. The Chrisley brand had built itself on the image of faith, strength, and family unity. But behind the laughter, real humans were struggling to hold it all together. And now, one of them had finally chosen peace over perfection. A family already tested the Chrisley name has weathered more storms than most families could ever imagine. Todd and Julie's incarceration shook the foundation of everything they had built. Their children were suddenly forced into adulthood under the harsh glare of public judgment. Savannah stepped up as a caretaker for her younger siblings, balancing her grief with fierce determination. Chase tried to maintain his cool persona, masking worry behind humor. Lindsay, though estranged for years, found herself reconnected through shared pain. Each child carried a different burden, but they all carried something heavy. So when one of them confirms a divorce, it doesn't just echo through their own life. It ripples across the family's entire emotional landscape, because the Chrisleys have always been interconnected. When one falls, the others feel the tremor. And yet, there's an undeniable resilience within them. They've survived scandals, rumors, betrayals, and heartbreak before. This divorce, as devastating as it feels, may also mark the beginning of healing. Love lost. But lessons gained. Every divorce carries lessons in its wake. Painful as it may be, it forces reflection on love, growth, and the realities of change. For the Chrisley child involved, it's not just the end of a marriage but the rebirth of identity. The world often forgets that behind every reality TV smile is a real person fighting private battles. Being part of a famous family can sometimes mean losing one's individuality, especially when personal choices are filtered through public judgment. To admit a marriage failed in that spotlight takes courage. And maybe that's where the beauty lies, in the honesty of it. Divorce doesn't have to mean failure. It can mean self-preservation. It can mean choosing authenticity over expectation. For the Chrisley child who made the announcement, the road ahead will be lonely at first. But there's a strength that comes from walking away from something that no longer serves peace. The pain is temporary. The clarity is permanent. The family's reaction. Quiet support. Surprisingly, the rest of the Chrisley clan hasn't turned the situation into a media circus. There's no public feud, no gossip-filled interviews, just quiet support. Savannah, known for her resilience, has likely offered comfort from a place of understanding. She knows the cost of keeping up appearances when the world expects you to be unbreakable. Chase, ever the big-hearted sibling, might have reminded his family member that love still exists, even when it changes form. And Todd, despite his own hardships, has always believed in redemption in moments like this. Faith becomes their anchor. They've lost homes, freedom, and now love, but they've never completely lost hope. That steadfast belief, no matter how bruised, keeps them from collapsing under pressure.